Hello guys, good afternoon to all of you. I hope you are doing very good, and I want to thank you so much for watching all my previous series on basically backtrack, and then in reference to basically my thesis work. In a number of series that we've already done, I have explained to you the various vulnerabilities within WEP, and today I want to demonstrate to you how to crack WEP. Okay, because during our survey, we did find out that a number of users are still configuring WEP on their network, which is very vulnerable, right? Okay, so that is basically web security, which is configured on most access points. We are going to demonstrate how to hack them, and then we did explain that after the survey of 1,200 access points basically in Ghana, we did find a number of these access points configured with WEP, and I want to demonstrate to you that all the security protocol, all the passwords to these networks can be hacked, right, within just 5 seconds, or at worst scenario 7 seconds, or at least 7 minutes. Okay, and basically most researchers have proposed how to actually hack this, but we are actually going to demonstrate how this hack is going to be done within this thesis work. All right, and after that, it is my wish that people like Achimota branch, what have you, all these people will stop using WEP, because WEP is totally vulnerable. Okay, so let's basically look at the attack. All right, okay, so basically these are some of the vulnerabilities we did talk about in WEP: no mutual authentication and all those things in our previous video. And then based on this, the various attacks were basically launched. Okay, so let me just quickly jump away. Okay, so that's this fine. So basically WEP attacks. Now WEP attacks are basically divided into two. The first type of attack actually has to do with you recovering the password to the network. Okay, that is actually the key recovery attack. So some of the key recovery attacks which have been discussed before from literature were the FMS correct, and then basically PTW. Okay, according to basically PTW came in to improve the correlation of this attack, and then he required about 60,000 capturing 60,000 weak IVs. Okay, initialization vectors with weak IVs to crack the key. Then we also do have the message decryption attacks, which you do not require the web key. All right, and then basically for the key recovery attacks, it actually depends on you being able to capture these weak IVs, because research or most literature books did say that some of these weak IVs, okay, which were being used as seed is sold to the RC4 algorithm, actually reviewed some of these keys. Okay, so and then actually Borisov also came out with a formula for computing these weak IVs and deriving these weak IVs. So this formula for computing and deriving these weak IVs have actually been incorporated into backtrack 5, which we are going to use that to do the crack. And then you also have to recover the first key stream byte output, and you know you can get that through eavesdropping. Okay, however, correct and then PTW, okay, they show TILS 2007, they show that you don't necessarily need to require the first key stream byte. Any key stream byte at all can be used to crack the web key, which we are going to basically demonstrate. Okay, all right, so that is basically that. Now, so basically all that it requires. And then also in cracking web, there are two ways of doing the attack. You can either attack the access point. All right, by attacking the access point, that means that the hacker is actually spoofs the network being taking place on the web, and then actually send the attack towards the access point, and then by attacking the access point you'll be able to recover the secret key. Or you can also attack it using just the client. That means you do not need the access point. Any client, you know that every client actually probes all the time. When you turn on your Wi-Fi, you actually probe for networks that you have previously connected to. So you realize that we're sending beacon frames asking that these are the networks I've connected. Where are you? Are you around? Good. Now the attacker can also listen to those kind of probe requests coming from the clients, okay, the various laptops who are searching for the access points, and then through that he can actually launch an attack on that one as well, and also recover the key, right? So to do the attack without the access point was first discovered by Vivek Ramachan. Okay, you can actually look into his book. He did a nice book. We talk about penetration testing, backtrack 5, all right, which actually reviews. It's actually called the cafe latte attack, so you can look at that as well. Okay, great. So as we said, the access point attacks include the FMS attacks, which actually came in 2000, 2001, and then it actually required capturing about 2 million weak IVs. Okay, and on a very busy network, very easy to capture these 2 million. Then later Corey came in with an improvement, okay, where he found out more correlations between these weak IVs and then the keys that they review, and therefore the number of weak IVs required actually shortened to 500,000. Right, then later PTW also came in with more correlation analysis. It's more of mathematical, okay, statistical in nature, and then a PTW did reduce that to 60,000 weak IVs, right? So currently Backtrack is actually does these attacks relying on basically PTW, right? And as I explained to you, this Backtrack 5 is actually a free software. Anybody can just download it, and next thing he will hack into your web network, recover the password that is on your web network, okay? And then for the client side attacks, we actually, as I said, we have the cafe latte attack, which was actually discovered by Vivek in 2011, where you don't need the access point and you can basically attack that. For message description attacks, there are a number of attacks there, but I'll be basically talking about the correct chop attack. So the correct chop attack doesn't need to recover the password. All it requires is that the encrypted data, it chops off the bytes one by one, make a guess of what the value should have been, tested it out, and then based on the ICV checksum, he's able to tell that whether the byte has been decrypted or not. So all these various attacks I've explained to detail in our thesis work. You can look at that as well. Okay, so that is fine. So based on this, we've actually going to crack it. Okay, so straight up, so what do I have? I have an access point here, my access point here. All right, on this access point, I'm basically going to configure the security protocol to support web. So you come to wireless security, go down, we choose web, shared key is fine, ASCII, okay, that's fine, and then the key, well, we can leave it at this, so I can basically change it. All right, okay, so let's just say we change this one to, let's say 0. Okay, so let's make this P O. All right, okay, fine. And then it's basically the attack doesn't matter the key size, whether 64, 120 or whatever, it will still crack it. All right, actually a number of people came out with, and then we can save that to access that. We should reboot it to it to take its place, so we will basically do save that as well. So the device as is restarts, let us find a legitimate client, because you know on the network boundaries there should be a legitimate client who basically like to connect to this network. So here I'm using this laptop as basically the legitimate client to connect to this access point, right? There's no relation between this and then Backtrack. So we just go here to properties, and then we're going to choose the password, clear all this, and then input the password. I think, what was the password? 1234. I have to confirm this password again. Okay, so let's basically confirm this password. Okay, okay, so basically what happens is that on any normal network you'll be putting the same password on the legitimate client. Okay, so 123 and then at 123 PO. All right, So once you've done that, you can save that now, and then basically what happens that the legitimate clients can now connect to the access point. Okay, so this is basically all that we require for be able to crack web. There must be a client that will be able to connect to the access point, right? Okay, so that you can try get the various authentication credentials from the legitimate clients, right? Okay, so we just wait for the access point basically to connect. All right, it's connected. Okay, so now once it's connected, basically we will now fire up our backtrack, and then here I have with my alpha card, all right, which are basically connected to the ports. Okay, so all we do is we will come out with a command line, and then basically we want to check if our alpha card is in monitoring mode. So we have ifconfig. So ifconfig, that is our WLAN wireless card interface. This is the loopback interface, and this is the Ethernet port interface. Okay, so what we do have is that we have to put the card into monitoring mode, and if you do remember from the previous video, the command is m1ng. So we have, then you do m1 ng start WLAN 0. That basically puts the card into monitoring mode now. Okay, so you can see the card is now in monitoring mode. All right, we can basically repeat m1ng now, and then see that the monitoring mode actually comes. Remember, it's the monitoring mode that we require to do the various sniffing on the alpha card, right? Now if you also do run ifconfig, you should be able to get the mon0 interface coming up. Okay, so next we want to listen to the airwaves, and this is something that the attacker will do. Just run normal arrow dump -ng, feed it to the monitoring interface mon0, and then basically listen to the wireless network for the various access points. Okay, so we just listen patiently. Very soon it will come. Just hold on, I got it. Okay, so basically here we are. You can see we are actually arrow.ng. We are monitoring this access point currently, and then the access point is actually the TP link. What we do have is we also seeing some clients who are making various requests. This client is not associated for now. It's just probing, and he has nothing in his probe. But this client is actually requesting for this network, this Guji 2 network, right? But currently it's not in view, so it's just broadcasting. So it is in the same way that Vivek actually used. So for example, if you want to crack web basically from the client side, what you require here is that once I know that it's broadcasting this, and then I set up this as 300 ports, either web WPA, WPA2, by means it's going to fall into it. If it falls into the web 1 I have associated with that, I can grant it an authentication request. Next thing will be exchanging packets. I capture app, replay back to it, and then that'll be the end of it, right? Okay, so now we have one legitimate client basically connected to the network, which I think is basically the legitimate laptop. Okay, so what we'll do next is that we have to capture this and the packets which are being exchanged between the web enabled access point and then the legitimate client. All right, and then basically the command to do that, we can just bring up a new one, and then we can narrow the arrow dump command now. So we have arrow dump ng mon0. This time we're talking about the channel. What channel is it on? The channel, the BSS is on channel 11, so we have channel 11, and then basically dash BSS ID. All right, the BSS ID is actually 64:70:02:0 colon 76 colon 54 colon B and F, right? Okay, and then the next thing is actually where you actually want to save the file. So I want it to be written, so write to, and then you can give it a name. What name do you suggest? Web crack, web let's say password, web password crack. All right, and then basically give it the .cap, said basically .cap file. Okay, so basically this I think is all that you require, and then the next thing to be actually saving the packets. Okay, so we can actually stop the global search with Control-C now. And then now if we actually look at where the file is being saved to, we can use ls, which is actually the list, and then gives us what we are actually doing right now. So this is what we are being saved right now to the desktop, right? This is what we actually saved. So it is this file we are going to use for the various cracking. Okay, good. Alright, so we allow it to save for a while. Now, in order for us to crack the web key, we need to generate more packets. Remember that from here we did say that web cracking we do require at least 60,000 based on PTW, right? Based on PTW attack, we require at least 60,000. Okay, at least 60,000 IVs. So that means that we have to generate about 60,000 packets here, but currently we are just doing around 108. So the way that basically backtrack will allow you to do that is that we can decide to disconnect all the clients which are being connected to this web network, okay, by sending a deauth message which will disconnect everybody. Once it disconnects, the legitimate client will now begin to connect to the network again, and this time when it's connecting again, by all means there is going to be an app association. Once we have the address resolution protocol exchange, we can capture that one with backtrack, and then with that one we can replay the app packet back into the access point. Because this app is legitimate and then replay back into the network, it's going to generate more app packets, right? However, if you want it to be generate some more, remember that from our research we said that we go through the authentication phase, you come to association phase, and that, right, before you exchange data like app. But you know that the legitimate client has the password and therefore has already gone through the association phase. So it is good for us to steal the MAC address of the legitimate client to play back the app packets, right? Okay, so that's exactly what we're going to do next. So two things you are going to do. We can start with the app. So AirPlay ng, you can go and customize how the various options. We are going to play with this one now, right? So we're going to have AirPlay dash app replay, right? Then we're going to supply it with the particular DSS ID. Okay, ESS ID. So just dash E, and then with dash E we'll copy the ESS ID is this one. So basically I'm going to copy that. So you're going to say copy, then I'm going to have paste. Okay, dash, that's the ESS ID, and then basically the dash H command, small h, is the one to be used to spoof the password, the MAC address. Okay, you can find that over here, source MAC address. So to spoof the source MAC address is basically dash H. Alright, okay, good. Alright, So if we come here, we can get the source MAC address of the client which connected to, and then it is this guy. So we're going to copy the MAC address of that as well. Then basically I'm going to paste that, right? And then I'm going to use -a to specify the BSS ID, and the BSS ID of the access point is actually this one. So we're going to copy that as well, and then we're going to paste that, and then remember to add -0. Alright, so we can basically enter that, and then as you can see right now, it's reading the packets which are being transacted between the legitimate client and then the access point. Okay, for now we can even decide to bring up Y# and then see whether we are capturing any app packets for now, because the client is already associated with the legitimate network, so we will have to capture the app. So now you can see there is 0 app packets now. Okay, so you basically want to capture on the interfaces, and then the interface want to use the -0 interface. Start capturing. Alright, you can see that the currently is just data which are basically being run between these two guys, basically encrypted data. You can see much of that, right? Okay, so if we actually put in here ARP and then enter, see currently there are basically no app packets being exchanged because we missed that stage, right? So in order to get the app packets that we're going to capture, what we are going to do is that we have to send a deauthentication message to the network. So you basically bring out, can close this one now, and then we'll open. We still, okay, it's being able to capture some app packets now, right? But for safer, let's see what we are getting from. Have I closed the Y#? Sorry, close the Y#. Alright, no problem, we can open Y# again. Okay, so we have Y#. Okay, we still can see the app here because the packets which are being transacted between the client and that are all they are all encrypted packets. Okay, that's why we basically cannot see, right? Yeah, they are all encrypted packets. Okay, cool. So no problem, let's continue. What we can do is we have generated our 20,000 app request packets right now, which we actually sending the almost 21 packets back into the network. And then if we can also look at the number of data packets being transacted right now. Okay, so we are doing almost 20,000, 23,000. That's fine, right? Prefer we do some deauth message. We can, let me just demonstrate how the deauthentication message works, which will disconnect all the clients from this access points and then basically reconnect them again, right? Okay, so that basically is a replay. -ng, and then that is the dot message. Copy, paste, and then followed by the ESSID of the network. So basically dots, and then the dot is to deauthenticate everything you give is the argument 0. So -p, and then so that is the argument there. B is actually the BSSID, paste that, and then followed by E, which is actually the ESSID. Can copy everything, and then basically paste it. Alright, and then we're basically going to specify the Mon0 interface, right? And then with this an argument is missing. Oh, double E's, sorry. Okay, so basically based on this you can see the dot message is being sent, and then client will start disconnecting themselves from the access points now. Okay, you can see the association message now, the authenticating. So what I'm doing is I'm sending a denial of service attack right now to the other clients connected to this, so nobody can connect to this network now. And this can also happen. A hacker can just be sending the authentication message to all the access points within this web environment, all right, which we basically discussed here. All the web guys that we've actually surveyed here, you can just send the authentication, nobody will be getting the network, all right, and then you'll be surprised, you don't understand, but it's actually being controlled from here. So web vulnerable. All right, so I'll just want to stop the broadcast, because if I don't stop it to continue, so I'll just stop the broadcast now. Just hit on Ctrl+C. Okay, so once I stop it right now, all the clients will begin to reconnect again. Alright, so now we basically generate almost like 30,000. So I think the authentication phase is done, and then data is now being transferred. Association has also passed through, so the client is going through, right? Okay, yes, and that's beautiful. Okay, let's analyze more of this white shark. Where are we going? Where's our source? Basically for now everything is encrypted, so we can't actually read the data until we have decrypted it. Okay, alright, so all we have here is the source to the broadcast, because everything here is just encrypted. Later on, after we've gotten the password, we will input the password here and we're going to decrypt all the message that actually took place, right? Okay, so as right now you generated only 40,000. According to PTW, was talking about we generating 60,000, but 40,000 is enough for us to crack the web key now. So basically, to crack the web key, first we have ls. Look at the file that we saved, .cap file, right? Copy that, and then we're going to supply that with the programming backtrack for cracking web is aircrack-ng, and then after aircrack-ng you just supply it with the file, and aircrack-ng will begin to initiate and start cracking the password, and then it's going to try a number of votes. As you can see, I told you it's statistical in nature, so all the key bytes has various votes put here, and then you can see the various key bytes. Is testing them one after the other in an attempt to crack the password to the network. Within you can just watch the time, and then let's see when the password will be cracked. So currently we are told it's captured 271 IVs that is seen. So basically I like to try the next time at 50,000. okay, so we can feed that up again. Okay, so basically let's try the aircraft after a number of attempts. Now by all means it's going to crack the key, by all means. All right, so you have ls. Look at the top. This is actually our cap file. Copy that, and then we feed that back to aircrack-ng again, and then basically paste that. Remember that the whole idea is about capturing enough of these weak IVs. Once you can actually capture enough of these weak IVs, definitely you are going to be able to crack the key. Alright, holla, there we are, key cracked. Just within what? Less than even like a second. Time tested, right? After testing 66,000. And remember, PTW we talked about 60,000. It is 66,000 IVs. Alright, and then based on that is found the key. This is the hexadecimal form, and then ASCII it is actually that that, and this is that. So with this we've cracked the web network. All right, and then let's confirm from the access point what was the password. Is basically the same as what we have here, right? Okay, so guys, thank you so much. This is all about cracking web. The procedure is very simple. All you need is number one, look at aerodam-ng to monitor the airwaves. Then do a DOT attack so that you can regenerate the app packets, and then replay app packets by spoofing the legitimate client MAC address, and then use aircrack-ng basically to crack the key. This is all, right? So thank you so much for being in this training. See you around. Thank you. Bye.